Hey, good morning, Spurs fans. Paul the Hotspur hippie here, bright and early, 6:20 a.m. It's the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I said it right. It's the only place you can watch a seemingly grown man dribble coffee into his beard because he's forgotten how to drink. I hope you're all well. It's was it? It's in was it in England? It's Friday night, Saturday night. What's it today? I can't remember. It's Sunday today, Sunday morning. So I hope you've all had a good day and. Let's settle in for some Spurs. Not a lot of Spurs news as usual, so I'm relying on you lovely internet nutters out there to keep me going. But we'll have a look on the old Twitter feed. I did extensive research as usual. Now, here we go. Last word on Spurs says it's saying that Yves Bissouma is catching Ange Postecoglou's eye very quickly. The Mali international already has big admirers in Ryan Mason and Matt Wells, who have joined Postecoglou's coaching staff and were taken with Bissouma's ability during their caretaker spell towards the end of last season. Look at him. There he is. Will he appear? Will he appear? There he is. Look, he's running around the pitch here. Bang. Oh, goal. Goal. And I watched the training videos, and they were quite actually like football training videos, and he did look good. He looks bloody strong, Basuma, and he I don't know, he's got a bit of razzle dazzle about him. I think we're going to see really good things from him this year. Very strong, very fit. Obviously, taking care of himself during the summer break there. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. We'll see how he goes. I've liked the vibe of watching the training videos. Obviously, they're sliced and diced a bit, but at least they're kicking the ball around. That's what I like to see. They're kicking the ball around. And then the other big news, England have won the under-21 Euro Championships. And look, there's Tottenham are on it already. There's Oliver Skip. Come on, materialise into this plane of existence, Oliver Skip. Maybe if I take it by surprise. Boop. Maybe if I go from back here. There we go. There we go. It's winner. Ooh, don't vanish. Stay with us, Skip. Stay with us. Stay with us. There he is. I didn't really follow it. I don't even know who England won. I know the score was 1-0, but I don't recognise the badge of the other team. So I'm going to have a look now. England under 21. Was it Spain, maybe? Maybe it was Spain. Sort of red in yellow. Oh, it was Spain. Yeah, okay, Spain. And did Skip? Oh, of course, Google does the thing where it puts fireworks over everything. Don't do that. I'm old. I'm old and cranky. I just want to see text. Who was the? Did Skip get a run on? Let's have a look. Technology lineups. Let's have a look. And it's doing the fireworks thing. Just stop with the fireworks. I know. Oliver Skip did get a run on. Don't know when, but he's on there. Apparently only 3.7 from internet nutters that use Google have rated him. Bugger that. I'm going to give him a 5. Bugger off, Google. There we go. I didn't watch it, but I'm not having a Spurs player being marked less than probably some Leyton Orient players in there. Not having it. So well done, Skip. You actually had a run on, so that's legit. Hey, well done, man. Well done, man. It is the birthday of the one and only Robbie Keane today. Awesome player for Spurs. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see too much of Robbie Keane play because that was in my media Spurs blackout when I moved to Australia in '95. Couldn't see bugger all for years and years and years. So I missed a lot of Robbie Keane, but I like the cut of his jib. He's just a single-minded beast on the pitch. I saw him play a fair bit for the Republic of Ireland, and he was good. He was good. Crackers, Richard Cracknell. And this is sad to see, you know. I saw him say yesterday that he's kind of being priced out of Tottenham because Spurs, even though they said they weren't going to raise season ticket prices, kind of sort of did a bit. And all the other tickets have gone up. And Crackers is saying here, so many people replying that they have now also reached the point of pricing being unjustifiable and simply unaffordable. And it's a shame. I remember when I almost got priced out before I moved away from London. And okay, we're talking chicken feed dollars here, but this is when football was a working class game, and like anyone could really go. And it was so 87, 88. My season ticket was a princely £72, and then the next season 88, 89, because that's when they got rid of the shelf and put bloody namby-pamby seats all over the place and all over the country, and just buggered up football a little bit. It went up to over £200. It tripled in price in 1 year. And I thought, okay, I'll give you one more year, I suppose, because I knew I was going away to university. But it's a shame, and it's a shame that this is happening to the game, man. It really is. You know, I know there's economics and all that old crap, but this is Hotspur hippie, isn't it? You know, we're not into capitalism in this place. And, that's what happens. So you take something perfectly good that a few people love. Football wasn't loved by everyone. It was the biggest sport in England, but it meant a lot to so many people. And then the vultures come in with all their bags of monopoly cash, and of course all they're interested in is profit. And so to make money, they've had to kind of flower up the game a little bit, sanitize it a little bit, make it what they call family friendly, which is nothing of the sort. They're not thinking of kids, they're just thinking of being posh and appealing to all these people that didn't bloody like football in the first place. So now all the bloody people that didn't like football in the first place have come along, and because of market forces, oh, well, we can put our prices up. And so the bloody people that built the club, even me, I can count myself in one of those people. Anyone who's ever bought a ticket has helped build this bloody club, or bought a shirt or anything really, or even said, come on, you Spurs. It's not a money thing, is it? Let's face it. Since 1882. And I just get the feeling that football's been taken away from a lot of people, at least. I mean, if I had kids growing up in London now, I mean, I've got kids growing up here, I'd almost be telling them, I mean, it's too late now because they're in their 20s, but I'd be kind of persuading them to support a lower division club. So if they really wanted to go, they could. I think it's outrageous. And, it's the same old crap you get, Tottenham, same old crap you get from other corporations. Oh, rising costs. But, I don't see Daniel Levy taking much of a hit in the pocket, or Donna Cullen, or any other multiple muppets that are pulling millions of dollars out of the club for doing bugger all, in my opinion. Bugger all. It's always the punter, isn't it? It's always the punter. And and then saying an economist will come on the TV and say, "Oh no, we've got to squash wage rises and put interest rates up because of inflation." Well, why don't you look at bloody profits as well? Why don't you look at that side of the balance sheet, you dickheads? Anyway, this is a football channel, but it's kind of football related. I don't like people not being able to afford to see their club. It makes me actually quite sad to think that there's kids growing up in Walthamstow these days on the footsteps of their stadium, and they can't afford to go, and maybe they'll never be able to afford to go and see their local team. It's absolutely outrageous. It pulls the heart out of the club. And I get it. People say, "Oh, well, that's the way it is." If you want Harry Kane, then you got to pay for it and all that. I don't give a shit. I'd rather have some heart back in football and bugger all that. I hope all the money goes away, but it won't, until they find something else to glob onto that they can make a bloody profit out of. Anyway, more news, more Tottenham news. I'll tell you what, when you hit 50, you start dribbling for no reason. I did ask a mate who's older than me, because I thought it might be my beard interfering, but no, it's just age. You just start dribbling. It's where's the dignity in old age? I'm not even that old. Oh, for fuck's sake. pathetic. Now, there were some changes to fixtures. I'm just mentioning it. I don't know if this has affected any of you lot out there. It means not a lot to me because I've got to get up during the night to watch games anyway. So if it's shifted by an hour or two here, it doesn't really bother me. But I'm sure it will affect people's plans over there, particularly away games probably. But it was nice to see that we didn't, I remember, maybe this has changed in recent years, but it was like every year the fixture list would come out, and then 2 weeks later, the English Football League, as it was back then, said, "Oh, we've moved Tottenham's game because of Yom Kippur," and it's like, what, don't you know? I mean, everyone knows when Yom Kippur is. I mean, you don't have to be Jewish. You can just find out, do it, and change it, not make a big deal out of it. It's like every bloody year. It's like, get it right. Come on, sort it out. Football League. So maybe the Premier League is a bit more, I don't know, whatever than it used to be. So I'm interested. Does that still happen? Last time they came out with the fixtures and there was a match over Yom Kippur period. Did they then have to move it, or have they, wised up to certain things about Tottenham? Now, last word on Spurs here. Published a few quotes from Big Ange Postecoglou. I think it's an old. Interview. This one, because I had a search around. I haven't seen a new interview, so I won't go into details on that one because that's old news. But basically talking about coming over to Australia, being a family of migrants. Actually, I did one of the first videos I did on this channel, which kind of kick-started the channel going because it was popular with a lot of people, was kind of about this issue and life in Australia for certain people. It's not easy, and I think it got a lot of hits because I think I was on the money with it. There were some dissenting voices from the Smith Robinson Smythes, but apparently I got it right, I think. And that's one of the things about Ange is he soccer isn't a popular sport. Sorry, football. Soccer, you would have been calling it soccer in the 1950s, so don't give me these it's not soccer shit. It's short for association football. But if you're if you're into sports in Australia, there's huge pressure to go into like rugby league or AFL, cricket or rugby union if you're a posh kid. So to stay with soccer, it means you've got to love it in this country, and to get outside of the Australian football sphere into the big wide world is pretty hard. You look at some of the players that we've had do it, and they've had to be, really at another level to get out of Australia. And that's why Ange is the man, because he's the first Australian to get over into Europe. And, he's the best at the moment. I'm sure others will follow. But, he's had to overcome a lot of obstacles and be very single-minded in what he wanted to do and what he wanted to achieve in the game. And that's what makes him great. I did like the other day, there was a fan Q&A thing, and someone asked him what Australian player would fit into Tottenham. And I straight away, the name popped into my head, Mark Bresciano as well, because he was not that he was the best Australian player, but there was something about him. There was something exciting about Mark Bresciano. He was a good player, played a lot in Italy, played really well for Australia. But it's an interesting answer. He didn't just go for the, Harry Kewell, Tim Cahill, Mark Viduka, that kind of thing, who are all fantastic players. But he picked someone that maybe people wouldn't have heard of so much. And I like that. I really like that. Last word on Spurs. Has got a quote from Richarlison on Harry Kane. A guy who scored 30 goals and we managed to stay at 8th, something you can't believe. With a guy like that on the team, it was supposed to be to fight at the top of the table, fighting for the title. We players lack ambition. We have to change that as soon as possible. I don't know if you've got any comments about that out there. I don't know quite what to make of that myself. I'll be a sheep. I'll follow your guidance on it. And then lastly, before I get to you lot out there, Manor, is it Manor or Manor? Solomon. Solomon's got to be right, isn't it? So I might just call him Solomon for now. Will undergo his medical as a Tottenham Hotspur player next week and will sign a 5-year contract. And I know Mir's out there from, is it Israel Uncovered, his channel? He's pretty excited about this guy. Had his beady eye on him for a little bit. Likes the cut of his jib. So I'll take his word for it. Spurs face plenty of competition, apparently, for the 23-year-old services, with Fulham keen on snapping him up permanently following his loan at Craven Cottage. Craven Cottage. While Barcelona and RB Leipzig, isn't that a shame, eh? I hope that never ever happens to football clubs in England where they change their names just because they've got a new sponsor or some shit. I hate that. RB Leipzig. Also showed serious interest in the player. It's going to happen in England, isn't it? It's going to happen eventually. You can bet your ass on it. It's kind of happened in Australia, where Melbourne Heart, one of the A-League teams, bought out by the Borg, the evil empire of the City Group, and changed their name to Melbourne City. And it's not on. Can you imagine that? Spurs changing their name? Well, we haven't even changed our stadium name. You know, surely a couple of rich people can get together, club up 150 million or whatever. And I mean, I suppose if you're going to do that, you can feed a lot of poor people. But let's just say there's no such thing as world poverty or anything like that. Get the naming rights, just form a company called White Hart Lane. And so we could call the stadium White Hart Lane again. Because that's what we all call it anyway, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? And that's the end of that. So there's bugger all happening. Still no news on a defender. Still no news on Harry Kane. And at this stage, I'll have a look over at the peanut gallery and have a look here. Because I saw Neil Daniels was in first. First, come on you Spurs. The only reward you get for being first is if I see it, I flash your name up as the intro music's going. If I'm not doing anything. If I'm not like dropping Eric Dyer off at the pool or something like that. Chucking a bag of plums over the waterfall. Future music. Hello, man. Evening, come on you Spurs. Got the old devil horns, bloody rock and roll symbol. Neil Daniels, Saturday evening in London, right? Yeah, here we go. Meta Football TV. Yay! He's having a party on Sangria. Hurrah! Hurrah! Cheers. I hope. Well, you're under 50, so you won't be dribbling. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I was in control of that one. Good night to all. Good to see Chris passed his 50 subscriber milestone, so he'll be doing live shit, which is cool. Just adds a bit of fun to it, you know. Gives you options. Actually, I'll have a look. I haven't looked at my subscriber count this morning. Where is it? 817. That's all right. Hey, thank you, everyone. Don't feel obliged, though. You know, I get how it is. I don't like my phone beeping at me, telling me what to do. But if you have done, that's cool. If you like just watching, that's cool. I don't care. It's all fun, man. Kim62, g'day, man. Evening, Paul. It's my birthday tomorrow. Oh, hang on, what's that? Well, you share your birthday in that case, unless it's still, hang on. It's still Saturday in England, isn't it? So it's the 8th over there. It's the 9th here. Well, you're close anyway. Well, put it this way. 45 years ago, when you were born, either Keith Birkinshaw was on a plane or having dinner with Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa, because we signed them on July the 10th. And today's the July the 9th, which was my mum and dad's birthday. They shared the same birthday. People often think, oh, what were they related? It's like, no, the brothers and sisters have the same bloody birthday, you muppets. They're not twins. But they both passed on. So that was a long time ago. But so July the 9th, special day for me, you know. Birthday tomorrow. I'm feeling it today. Been looking after the grandkids, ran me ragged. You know, it's all part of growing up. My grandfatherly days are yet to come. Got my eldest. She's she don't get up until like 1 o'clock or anything, so that's cool. But I will switch the camera off and she comes on, and she'll probably say, "Come on, Arsenal," just to wind me up, like she was doing last night. She doesn't actually follow football at all. She just knows that if she says Arsenal, it makes me wince a bit, even though there's no venom in it, because she really doesn't care. I'm just teeing you up just in case she does that. You know, my youngest daughter, though, she's a Tottenham fan. Born to lose 73, g'day, man. Paul and evening, Paul, and to all of Angie's Barmy Army in the chat. Yes, man. Please for Skip lifting a trophy. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Thoughts on Ko Itakura from Borussia Mönchengladbach links today? Yeah, I had a quick look at the kid yesterday. As usual, you know, I don't know much about players. This is the only IDK source on the internet. I don't know. So I had a quick look at him yesterday, doing my 2-point test. So I went on to SofaScore, and my only 2 criteria are, because SofaScore, it's all meaningless bollocks, is does the player have a higher rating than Eric Dyer, and are they taller than me? And it was yes to both. He's a little bit taller than me, and he scored. Eric Dyer, his score is 6.86 on SofaScore, which just proves it's rubbish. But the kid Itakura had over 7. I think it's 7.02, and he's 186 centimeters, so just a little bit taller than me. But it all counts. All counts. That's my new data-driven approach to football recruitment. That's how little shrift I give data-driven football, because in my mind, data-driven football can give you a good team. It can even give you a bit of success. I'm not saying that, but it can't make you truly great. Truly great comes with a little bit of je ne sais quoi. You know, I'm not sure what it is. A bit of magic. You can't get that from spreadsheets. So I don't like data-driven football. So if we're going to do it, I'm going to be stupid about it. Here's 24 Z. Hey, good morning, yo. Nice to see you, man. They're taking the piss on raising prices. Yeah, someone made a good point earlier and said they've got to make money back from the Newcastle reimbursement. You might have to explain that more to me. Oh, okay, I get it, because the players, oh, fucking hell. So the players had to refund a few thousand tickets, did they, for their abject worst. I've never, ever seen God, you've brought it's like non-flashbacks, man. I mean, I got to the point where I was laughing during that game. It was the worst display I've ever seen by Tottenham. And I've seen some shellackings, but that was just on another level. Yeah, like, it's all economics and the way of the world and all that. It doesn't make it right, though. It doesn't make it morally right. It doesn't make it, a good thing. It doesn't make it not shit. It's horrible. It's, was it £75 for to go and see your team play football? It's just, like, I know it's the good old days and all that old bollocks, but fuck it, I will say it. When I used to go and watch it, it was like £1. It was within the grasp, and even then, the ground wasn't full, but it was, everyone could go, and even on the turnstiles, they were a little bit loosey-goosey with letting people in as well, and that's the way I like it. And on the one hand, okay, those days are gone. They're not going to return. There's no hope. But if people just forget about those days, then there truly is no hope, is there? If cranky old buggers like me at least go on about it a bit, maybe there's a flicker. Maybe it's a pathetic flicker, a futile flicker, but it's still a bloody flicker. And I ain't letting the flicker going out, because it's not on. It's not on. It was a game of the people, always has been, to take you away from the bollocks of bloody life and working for the man, or not working for the man if you couldn't, or you didn't want to because you didn't buy into all that shit. And now it's been taken away, man. And it's, by the way, if my PC shits itself, I'll go straight onto my iPhone. So I've got a contingency plan. Um, I mean, you look at it even now, watching game on TV, it's extortionate, paying for streaming this and streaming that. It's, I hope the bubble bursts on it. I really do. And we get a bit of normalization, you know. All this internet and new economy was supposed to make shit cheaper. And all it's done is allow the top end of town to cream off money easier. That's all it's bloody done. So I will bang on about it. It's Hotspur Hippie, remember. It's not Hotspur Piers Morgan. It's not Hotspur fucking, no, not Simon Jordan. It's Hotspur bloody Hippie. That's what it is. And just because I'm a peace-loving man doesn't mean I don't get pissed off about certain things. It's like a fart without a smell, but, it still gets my goat. Spot on. Thanks, man. Spurs in Space. That's a cool name. Spurs in Space. Fresh from the planet Coosbane. Kim62. It's the true fan that's being priced out of the game. No loyalty anymore in the game. We are losing the lifeblood. We sure are, man. We sure are. There's people out there that they're making hard decisions to go and see their football team. And that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be a hard choice where you've got to make, tough decisions. Not to the extent it is now anyway, It's outrageous. Maybe what causes this stupid football bubble to burst a bit is that people will start supporting lower league teams, or maybe their heart will be with Tottenham, but they'll be going to see Wealdstone FC or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I compare it. I compare it to top level sport here. And the other week I went to Top Flight Rugby League, most popular sport in New South Wales. The ticket was $20, 10 quid. 10 quid. That's all it was, man. And the players earn decent money, I don't know. There was a sweet spot for me in the football in just before Premier League, I guess, where footballers were earning decent money, where they didn't have to rely on, maybe owning a pub if they're lucky. And that's gone. Those days are gone. Keith Johnson, g'day mates. Truly like your take on Spurs and humour. Absolutely love the stream. Oh, thanks, man. Nice to have you around, dude. I enjoy doing it. Gets me out of bed in the morning. I woke up this morning and instead of thinking, oh, it's cold, I'm miserable, bugger, I'll just sleep, I'll just lie in bed for a few more hours. I'm thinking, right, I'll set the stream up and think of what shit I'm going to chat about, and I really enjoy it, man. So thanks for coming around to watch an old man dribble his coffee into his beard. At least the beard hides it. But there'll come a day where I'll get. And look, don't get me wrong, I do shower and condition and shampoo the shit out of it, But there probably will come a day when I'll just get too much one day and I'll just shave the damn thing off. But that day is not today. Steady as shark. This was my first season buying one Hotspur, and I'm so upset about this 20% price increase. I've never done it, man. Completely scummy to announce it after the renewal period as well. So one Hotspur. So what's your story there, Steady as Shark? Right? So one Hotspur, is that like membership? Is that what they call it? Is that what they've rebranded it to? Is that the UX name for being a Spurs member? Every time. Oh, I mean, I'll have a look. I'll have a look now. How much is it to become a member of Tottenham in Australia? Like, you know what? I just ain't gonna do it, man. Tottenham Australia members fees. Let's have a look here. Osspurs, it's called. Now, for this membership fee, you get Osspurs, which is a committee that goes to the pub. They really. Oh, you get priority ticket access. merch discounts, but how much is it? It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Oh, hang on. Is it only $10? Oh no, this is just for the Perth Tour online membership. $10. I don't even know what that does. It just says Perth Tour online membership. No idea what that is. Let's have a look at shop. It's got merch. I can't even see how much it is. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'll have a look at the Spurs membership. So one Hotspur. Okay. So you can bet your ass whatever it is in England, we'd be paying exactly the same over here. Oh, they've got lots. Oh, it's so confusing as well. They've got options here and options there and bollocks and oh God, online vouchers and you're paying membership to get discounts on a load of old cack, aren't you? And I can't even really see how much it is. Oh right, adult one. So an adult. So it says. So it's 55 quid. 55 quid to be a member of Tottenham, a one Hotspur. It's just, I mean, even that's bloody outrageous, isn't it? It should be like social club levels. You know, we've got these things over here, a bit like British Legions, but not quite, called RSLs, Return Servicemen's League clubs. And like membership is $5. You know, I think I paid like $10 for 3 years or something like that. I mean, they're just fleecing people, man. So steady as shark. I'm taking you. What? So you had a membership last year, and you wanted to get it this year, and it was 20% increase. It's absolutely unjustifiable. How is that? I don't see how that can be. What's the rationale? 20%? Is that to pay for Daniel Levy's pay rise? Future music. Red Bull have killed F1 too. Well, yeah, yeah. Funnily enough, I mean, I do like F1. That's my other sporting thing that I follow. But funnily enough, I haven't been really following it much this year, even though I think it's actually got better with the car redesigns. But F1 have killed. Oh, look, there's always a team that's dominating. You know, Mercedes killed it for years. Now Red Bull are killing it. Then there'll be another team killing it. I mean, that's what money does, isn't it? You know, just like football. It hasn't quite killed football because when the whistle goes, I don't give a shit about all the noise. Kim62, great to see Skippy lift the trophy. The under 21's done good. Well, yeah, they did, but you know, I think our under our youth teams have done all right before in tournaments, and it's led to absolutely nothing. You know, I think while you've got this conservative approach at the senior level with a manager like Gareth Safetygate, you're not going to win. You're just not going to win. You can't win a tournament by playing it safe and bottling it and playing percentages. Maybe you can if you're Italy, but not if you're England. It's not English football. Jason Fitzpatrick, it's White. That's right, man. It is White Hart Lane, and it always will be. That's right, always will be. Don't matter, does it? Mr. Moorcock, Hippie, we need some signings this week. We'll also allow for further outgoings. I don't know which comes first, chicken or the egg, man. You know, we've got to get rid of players. We've got to bring players in. I think we're going to get something this week. We're going to get something this week. You know, if I look in my coffee cup, I can definitely see at least one central defender coming this week. There we go. Coffee cup's never wrong because I've never done it before. 100% record. This will be the true test of the power of the coffee cup. I'm still not nervous about it, to be honest. I think, you know, things are getting sorted out. Born to lose. Hey, happy birthday for tomorrow, Kim62. Have a good one. Hey, audio artist hand. Evening, bruv. Here we go, man. Ian Barron, g'day, mate. Yeah, man. How much money do football clubs need to make it? It is. That's what It doesn't matter what you're talking about. I'll give you another analogy, right? There was this like Lebanese uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not roast chicken, spit chicken, like good old like earthy Middle Eastern food, right? And it was the best. It was the best. And there were only two places, two shops, and you go there. It was cheap, like their prices didn't go up for bloody years. You had it looked like families or relatives out the back preparing all the food on site, all the sauces, all the all the salads. It was absolutely top notch, affordable, beautiful food, right? Beautiful food. But you had to. I guess you had to maybe be brought up in that culture or have a mate that would introduce you to it. I mean, it was very popular, but its reach was only so big, right? But that's the way it was for years. Anyway, along comes Mr. Monopoly Cash, and maybe the owners were getting on a bit. I don't know, and I'm not even blaming the owners. So the owners, right? This is football and capitalism in a nutshell for you. So you know, the Mr. Saxa Cash comes along, buys the business, right? Buys the whole thing. Now that person, when they've done that, has not invested 1 cent into the business yet. They've just bought it from someone else. They've not put anything into it, but they've got to get their money back, haven't they? Because they're a capitalist sod. So they've got to get their money back. So without putting 1 cent into the business, prices go straight up, don't they? Don't they? That's how it works. Yeah, someone can tell me if I'm wrong in my logic here, but all this crap about people investing in the business is bullshit. They just bought it off someone else, and then they franchise it. So bit by bit, you see stores opening up. Gone are the families out the back cooking all the stuff fresh on site. It just comes in a tub that's probably made in some factory overseas or wherever it's cheapest to make it. Then they UX it, user experience it, and it's crap. It's crap. So they've taken. My point is they've taken something that 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 some people really did enjoy and really did like. They took that, and to expand it, they diluted it, made it total shit. So those original people don't like it anymore. You can go online to this place. I won't say the name of it, but you'll see the comments like, say, to 3 years ago, everyone loved it. And then within the last 3 years, you'll see, and I'm judging by names here, which might not be correct, but anyone with a Middle Eastern name now is bagging the shit out of it. Any of your Winston Robinson Smythe, so it's so lovely, because these are the dumb, rich, posh people that get fooled by, some artistic logo on a cardboard box, So that's what happens, man. That's what happens in bloody football. It happens in life everywhere. And then you get inflation, and we get told to spend less and don't ask for more wages because these pricks are making profits for doing nothing, man. Nothing. Anyway, steady as sharp. One Hotspur allows you to officially buy match tickets. Okay. And I see what you're saying, right? And then the tickets went up by 20%. Gotcha. Right. So you bought the membership thinking, okay, I might go to the odd game, and then they jump up the ticket prices. Yeah, it's sneaky, isn't it? It's sneaky, not right. Hey, just a girl who loves Spurs. Good evening, Paul. I enjoyed your stream last night. I was getting sleepy though, so I was falling asleep. I always try. I go to sleep for things I like though. I don't mean that as an insult. Like if I didn't like it, I'd be all wakey and. But it was good fun, good stream, man. Get over to Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs and and give her a subscribe. Just started out recently, like myself, so I like the happy-go-lucky channels where it isn't all too serious and we all just love Spurs, really. And yeah, we are happy clappers, and I don't give a fuck until they start losing bad. Then you see me, get depressed. Ian Barron, The Harry Hotspur phrase book is coming out soon. I don't know what that'd be, man. Thanks, though. So Steady Shark. So one Hotspur was 55. Can't remember. So one Hotspur plus and one Hotspur. See, this is. Oh man, you're gonna give me a bloody. Not you, but this whole concept is giving me a migraine. You know, this is. And look, I ain't gonna trump my own credentials, but I do have a master's degree in this shit, and I turned my back on this horrible world about 15 years ago because I couldn't stand it anymore. But what they're doing here, I've forgotten the name of it, but it's the same principle as like when you go into a random fast food chain, let's just call it McDonald's, and they'll have three size drinks, right? They'll have small for $3. They'll have medium for $5, and they'll have large for maybe $6. And you'll think, oh, it's more value for money to get the large one, even though you're spending more money, and it's money for nothing for them because their fixed costs is the bloody same no matter what. It's only like one extra drop of cordial. It's a manipulative technique to upsell you, to make your thinking, like when you go into a garage, petrol station, whatever you call them. And and I do this all the time. You buy a can of Coke and they say, oh, you can get 2 for X. And it's like, I only want one. I only want one. That's all I want to spend my money on. I know I'm getting 2, and in theory it's cheaper, but it's not because I'm spending fucking more. And that's the shit they're doing with this one Hotspur and one Hotspur Plus. It's making you feel a little bit maybe disheveled. You want to support your club and you see the plus sign. It's manipulation. It's pure marketing. Horrible. Horrible. G'day, Jim. G'day, Jim, man. Do you ever pop on the Mrs. Stream? Stick your head in, Or are you the shadowy silent partner, the Svengali pulling the strings? I hope you're well. I am well. I'm well. Thank you very much, man. Jim, the membership is crap at Spurs. Waste of money. Yeah, like it was simple, man. It was like before all this marketing and user experience, this UX stuff comes along, which is just marketers. Marketers are one of the worst evils in the world. Marketers, if there was no marketers, there'd be no marketing, and everyone would just be, what happens is marketers come into one company and they zhuzh it all up, so then they get a jump on the rest. So then the rest have to get these bloody marketers in to market them, and all the prices go up. What are you paying the marketers? Just cream all the bloody money off at the end. When I was a kid, it was simple. If you wanted to be a member, if you're a kid, it was this price. If you're an adult, it was this price. And if you're a pensioner, it was this price. And maybe they had some concessions if you're on the dole or something like that. I don't know. But it's easy. One thing. And season tickets were affordable. If you wanted a season ticket, oh, my phone's going to run out of battery. Shit. Hang on. Fuck. I use this as a mouse. So, oh, it's all right. I've got my charger here. Thought I'd have to nip off to the bedroom. Hang on. There we go. Whew. Catastrophe averted. We can send back the nukes. False alarm, everyone. Yeah, it's just. Here we go. Spurs take the piss and completely rinse the fans. It's exploitation. We could never afford to go. Now it's a joke. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. I don't know what to say, man. I think it is sad. I hope the bubble does burst on it all. I really do. Steady Shark, I should have front loaded my first message. No. It's all right, man. No. I quite like it. I quite like kind of doing my own investigation and then possibly getting it completely wrong. It's all cool, man. Yeah, so I don't blame you, man. You're going to feel ripped off. You think you're buying one thing. In fact, it is a bit of a rip-off. It is a complete con, isn't it? You've been sold something, and then they've pulled the rug out from you. Not good, man. Ian says, Darlington FC season tickets £240. We need the money to survive and not to take piss out of fans. Yeah, well, at least that's within the grasp of people, isn't it? I mean, what's it? £1,000 at £1,000 at Tottenham is outrageous. And from what I understand, and I might be wrong on this, but the Bundesliga, the German model, where fans have to have that 50+1 percent ownership in clubs, mean you haven't got all this stupid shit going, you know. And last time I looked, Germany have won the World Cup more recently than England. Bayern Munich still they're fairly competitive in the Champions League. You know what I mean? All this money has not made football any better. It's made it worse. It's sanitized it, you know. And then you've got VAR coming in, and I'm sure that's because of. There's two reasons we've got VAR. One is that because Sky Sports have paid so many rights to show football, instead of like Match of the Day where you just get John Motson saying, "Oh, no, maybe it was onside," and then we move on with our fucking lives. Sky Sports got to dramatise and get everyone all pumped up, and like every match is a fucking clash. Today's clash is between Bournemouth and Southampton, a south of the coast Titanic battle. Who gives a fuck? It's only Southampton versus Bournemouth, mate. It's only if you support those teams do you give a shit. But it's a clash. And so after the game, they've probably, and I'm guessing here, I haven't watched all this, but I'm guessing they analysed that fuck out of every referee's decision, and for a bit of drama, criticise a human being when they're wrong, and talk about bloody standards. Refereeing is outrageous. It's reprehensible. And so they brought in VAR, and I reckon the other bloody thing is gambling. There is so much gambling around. You know, I don't gamble myself. It's against my beliefs. But, you know, some people like to have the odd flutter. I get it. But it's gone, you know, people have been brainwashed into doing it, thinking it's part of the fun of following football these days. And look, if it's your thing, it's your thing, I guess. But, you know, it's a lot of it's targeted at kids. They're actually, and just on online gambling, there was an inquiry over here in Australia, a parliamentary inquiry, whatever that does, nothing, into online gambling. And it came out as actual fact. So this is not me putting my tinfoil hood on for a second. I'll put it on. But it is an actual fact. If you start winning, they close your account. Because there are mathematical ways to win in betting, arbitrage betting and stuff like that. But if you do that, they'll see that you're doing that and they'll close your account. So, you know, all the adverts you see, everyone's a fucking winner. It's bullshit, because if you win, they tell you to fuck off. True word. I don't know what the words were, man, but thanks, Keith. Thanks. I'm on a bit of a higher horse this morning for some reason. I just need some football. I just need some football to silence all this bollocks out of my head, all this other stuff that I really shouldn't have to give a fuck about, but I do. But there's only 9 days to go. And yes, it is 9 days because they're playing in Perth. You're on my turf now. So it is the 18th, which is 9 days away. Fact. I know it's the 8th for you lot in there, but it ain't 10 days. It's 9. It's 9. It's going to be Australian time. Even though it's like, even though it's in Perth, it's like the same distance like from New York to Los Angeles. Jim says, Paul, my Spurs play. Oh, here we go again. There's another pile of shit. It was 35 last year. Okay. And it's 45. And they just bloody, and so they did the old, you automatic, for your convenience. No, what they've done, Jim, in fairness to Tottenham, I'll stick up for the Tottenham here. It's for your convenience, man. For your convenience, once you've given over your details, so you don't have to worry about it ever again, they'll conveniently take next year's charge for you. So, you know, you've benefited. That £10 extra is just so you've not had to have it on your mind, you know. It's outrageous. That's a rip-off. It's an absolute rip-off. I did look at Spurs play last year, and it's about the equivalent in dollars over here. I didn't bother, you know, and I'm not going to bother this year. It's, you know, they've taken this thing that we all love that, you know, it wasn't passed down to me through my family, but it's, you know, I still started supporting them when I was a little kid. But there's people out there that are generations deep in this club. And even like I'll include my youngest daughter, who is a Spurs fan now. It won't be long before she'll be fleeced buying kits for, you know, over $100 here that don't need to be over $100. And they've taken this thing that we've loved and just turned it into a fucking brand. Arseholes. Knowing that we've got no choice, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're dumb human beings that just want to like a bit of football and follow a football club. What time is it here? It is now 7 a.m. 7 a.m. I find the older I get, the more I follow the sun. So like when the sun goes down, I get a bit sleepy, and when it comes up, I'm usually awake before it comes up, which means Australia is a good place for me to live because the days are more even here because we're nearer the equator. Between summer and winter, only varies by a couple of hours. Like if I was living in England still, I'd be even more of a mental case than I am already, you know. And I use that not taking the piss out of people with mental illness because I myself have severe depression and anxiety disorder. And God knows what else is happening in this box of ducks. But I'd go bloody crazy during summer. I'd be getting like 2 hours sleep, and during the winter, I'd be like a tortoise in the Blue Peter garden having a hibernate. Kim62, the One Hotspur membership puts you on the waiting list. Oh, fuck off. Oh my God, what is this? Is this like, are we talking private school shit now where you've got to pay to put your darling beloved Joshua Winton Hoggins onto the fucking waiting list for Harrow fucking school now? You've got to pay to get on a season ticket waiting list. Oh, that's it. One of these days, you're just going to see me on a stream, right? And it's just all be too much for me. And my brain will just start dribbling out of my ear, you know, and I'll have to put it back in because I just can't cope with this fucking world. I'm just being hyperbolic, but it is crap. And, you know, when I was a young man, right, this is the difference. I found a difference because I'm old and getting a bit cranky and grumpy. But this is the difference. When I was a kid, right, people like my grandparents and their age, who'd been through a bloody world war, maybe two, were kind of scorning to us, the younger generation, a little bit. And it was along the lines of, like, the heart of it was from a good place, you know. The heart of it was from, you've never had it so good, you know. You know, you might moan about this, but believe me, right now it's so much better than what we had it. Whereas now I'm the opposite from my grumpy point of view. It's like I feel sorry for kids because I think it's shit compared to what it was 40 years ago. I think it was just better, you know. After, I mean, if you remove Thatcher, it would have been even brillianter. But now it's just bullshit. Fucking app. You need an app to take a dump. It's just, and everyone photographs everything. You know, it's all shit. But paying to be on a waiting list, that's just not. It's horrendous. God, it's the Hotspur hangry hippie this morning, isn't it? Maybe I drink more coffee and dribble it for your entertainment. Hang on. You know what it is? I think because I didn't dribble that one. I think it's when I take a more devil may care attitude. I don't dribble. See, when I'm thinking about it and when I'm concentrating, that's when I fuck it up. Maybe I've just got to go back to basics. You know, that's all you got to do. Claude Murphy. Who's it? What? Tottenham fans are too thick. Or who are you then? Who are you a fan of? Come on, Claude. Let's be having your sunshine. All fans are welcome here, but you know, you might get a bit. You know, that's football, isn't it? It's a harmless hate. But you know, when you come on here poking the fucking bear, you're gonna get poked back. We'll see what old Tottenham fan, what old Claude Murphy is. just the girl loves Spurs. We're talking that exactly. Just talking, just chewing the fat, man, chewing the shit. Nothing we say is going to have an effect on world affairs or world matters or anything. We're just releasing. Maybe you're of the ilk, you like bottling it all up and seething inside, but I like letting it all out in a big bluster of nothingness. But we will see. Maybe Claude will return. Are we being too hasty on Claude? Stay tuned and let's find out. See if he comes back in the comments. I can see he might. There's one down there, but I haven't got to it yet. Steady Sharks, 20% ticket price increase when they were already among the most expensive in the league. Yeah, I know. After the worst season in 13 years is complaint worthy. And Daniel Levy taking another 500,000 out of the club. What's he on now? It's a ridiculous amount of money. Okay, yeah, sure. They don't take dividends. They only take a fucking salary. And I'm sure he's getting paid over in the Cayman Islands or some bollocks like that. He's not even paying tax on it. Keith Johnson, for that $10 for that $10 Perth bollocks. So this is there's some sort of weird online Australian membership for $10. Means that you can watch the pre-season game against West Spam, but it's free to air anyway, man. I hope they're not advertising. I hope they're not selling it as that, because it's on over here. It's on free to air TV. It's on Channel 10, one of their digital channels. So, whoa! I'm gonna have a look at this. I'm curious now. Okay, let's have a look. What do you get for Perth Tour online membership? It doesn't even say what the fuck it. Right, this online membership will give you priority access to the events we have planned over the full week of the event. I mean, what? What they don't, but they don't hire out pubs, and I'm not blaming the fan organisations here. I'm sure they're trying to just do their bit for the club or Spurs or whatever. So these pricing things would be coming from on high, But I mean, every time I know the pub the Sydney lot drinking for games in Sydney, and I've never been because it's the middle of the night, and it's a pub where it's impossible to park anyway. But I have been working in the Uber not when games have kicked off, because I'm usually home by then. But I've driven past the pub purposefully to see, is there a bit of a buzz, and it's been quiet as anything. It might be better this year because we've got Ange Postecoglou and we're going to have some more Spurs fans over here. But paying to go to a pub, which you can go to anyway, fuck that. And Perth, you're right, absolute bollocks, because it is on free-to-air TV. Anyone can watch it in Australia for free. DJ Samuel, g'day, man. How you going? Okay, here we go. Claude Murphy. Let's give him the space. I'm speaking of the rise in ticket prices all over. Globally, prices are increasing. You have the most comfortable stadium in the world. You must pay for comfort. Oh, well, I would rather not have the comfort. I didn't ask for it. I mean, I'm kind of speaking as if I was a fan over there. I didn't give a shit. White Hart Lane, the bog was just a stinky old trough. That was fine. I was mainly a kid when I was there, so I didn't care about bar or anything. I just cared about a polystyrene cup with Bovril in it that was so hot it used to bloody melt the plastic strainer. I didn't give a shit about comfort. So yes, I will have a bloody whinge about it. You must pay for comfort. Who are you? Come here. I'm glad I see you sleep for there. No worries, man. Okay, Claude, here we go. Here we go. Our fan base is the worst. Piss off. I mean that, man. If you're going to come here and say the fan base is crap, I mean, there's loads of other places you can do that, man. This ain't one of them. The fans are the lifeblood of the club, and every fan, can support the club in whatever way they see fit, really. I support it in my way. Someone might support it in their way. Someone might want to go and protest about Enoch. That's fine. Someone might not want to. That's fine. We're all individuals. There's no bloody, you know, when you say things like our fan base is the worst, what you're saying is fans should behave the way that you behave. And that's a bit totalitarian. This is Hotspur hippie man. It's not Hotspur Piers Morgan. So here we go. Things are going so well now. The usual suspects want to divide us again. Oh, look. Well, you're dividing, aren't you? You're dividing with, you know, rhetoric like that. I think if fans come on here and say they're happy with paying more, I'm not going to argue with them. If an individual's happy, I'm not going to piss on their rainbow. We need to stop. Oh, who are you, little Lord Fauntleroy? Get out of here, mate. Jim, Spurs till I die. Paul, I watched a stream when I was in the hills. Where do you live? It looked beautiful. Oh yeah. So, well, I live in Sydney, and I was a couple because if you're late to the stream, I'll explain my circumstances. So, June, my day job is an Uber driver because I have a bit of trouble working with people and crowds and stuff like that. But I lost my license beginning of June because the New South Wales road rules. I mean, you think they're bad in England, but they are really hard. It's really hard. You're driving around shitting yourself most of the time. You know, 5K over here and all that. And so I just spent a couple of weeks to get out the city with a mate, and that was an area called the Blue Mountains, and I'll probably be going back up there. And it is really nice up there. I mean, nature is something that I just really like. You know, nature's free. It doesn't cost anything, and it's always there until we destroy it. And where I live around here, I live kind of a Sydney suburb, but even in a lot of Sydney suburbs, you can find cool shit. You know, so I like to, you know, go out of my way to find these places and just get away with it all. I used to find that in England as well, to be fair, you know, even where I lived in, I lived in bloody like Uxbridge and West Drayton and places like that. You know, Uxbridge, you know, Boris Johnson land. Fucking Boris Johnson MP for Uxbridge. That does my head in. Still, he's gone anyway. But you can always find places here and there. And when I lived in Sheffield for a bit, I'd lived in a not so good area there. But you always had the Peak District and stuff. So it's something I've done throughout all my life, really, is just get away from it and find out these little spots to clear my head, you know. But I get my license back in September the 6th, so it's all going to be cool then. On that note, I will shamelessly plug. I don't know if I've actually put it in the description. I think I have. But I have got no income until that. I'm really scraping by on a budget. You know, if you can chuck a couple of bucks, that's cool. If you don't want to or you can't, that's cool too. You know, I'm not going to guilt people into it, but it really, the GoFundMe it has made such a bloody difference to me. It really has. It's given me enough to basically eat and not live in a car so far, which is more than I can have, you know, bloody imagined. I went to the government for help, and they said you can have some taxi vouchers. And I said to them, where am I going to go? I've got no money. So, oh, well, you know, it's just an option. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, because when you're self-employed, you fall through all sorts of cracks and loopholes and shit like that. But yeah, you know, man, you can always find a bit of beauty somewhere, I reckon. Always find a bit of beauty. Okay, to New South Wales, you know. The silent. Are you like the Joe Lewis, or I mean, I better not say that, because if I do ever make it over to London, when my YouTube channel earns me millions and I can just roll around in cocaine and hookers, I'll probably just roll around more in beanbags and get some nice new caftans. Actually, if I come over to London, you'll punch me in the head if I say something like that. The other, I was going to say, you're the Paul Daniels to her Debbie McGee, but that's not the silent one. But you are the silent one. Oh, bit of discontent. Oh, here we go. He's never silent. I straight get away from his constant chatter. I keep asking him to come on, but he won't. He charges too much. Well, you know, Yeah, you know, it's inflation for you, isn't it? It's inflation. DJ Samuel, doesn't Levy know we're in a cost of living crisis? He might do, but doesn't give a shit, does he? Because he's a billionaire, and there's no billionaire in the world that isn't a complete fucking psychopath, in my opinion. And the reason I base that on is that all of them have trodden on so many people and squeezed so many people. They're as dumb as spuds, you know. They're as dumb as spuds. Now, it doesn't take the brain the size of Britain to become a billionaire. All it requires is a complete lack of any empathy, compassion for your fellow man, and just squeeze as much as you can out of them to bilk it off for yourselves. So he doesn't give a fuck. That's the way it is. Born to lose. Like, oh, Bill Hicks called it perfectly years ago about the evils of marketing and advertising. Oh, right. Okay. I know a bit of Bill Hicks, but I'll be interested on his take about it. I'm not saying I've got a new take on it, but yeah, Bill Hicks was very funny, man. Bill funny. Hit the likes, Pete. Thank you very much. You can do what you want. It's a free channel. Free, do whatever you want channel. Free, do what you want. I'm not going to bollock you into clicking like and subscribe, because it's a pain in the ass for some people, you know. Hey, Mountain Bushman, Stema. Hey, Vanista. Hey, Vanista. Caption Grandma. Maybe we should buy the England under-21 centre-backs, as they didn't let any goals in. Is that right? So what? Oh, during the win. Okay, I thought you were going to say during the whole tournament. Well, yeah, we could get someone in. I don't know. Why not, eh? Paul, you look like Gandalf with the hood on. Yeah, yeah. Eric Dyer, you shall not pass. No, Eric Dyer, you can't fucking pass, mate, because you're shit. Okay, Jim says, "Oh, your daughter lives in Queensland. That's a nice, nice temperate part of the world. Pediatric nurse, she loves it there. Oh, well, she's probably, because Australia, just like England, is one of those places. Oh, we love the nurses. We love the national health. We don't quite have national health here, but it's better than America. It's a bit shit though. Oh, we love them. Oh no, you can't have any money. Fuck off. Like there's a near me, where actually I go for some of my walks. There's an old mental hospital. It's been closed down for years, and every time I walk past it, I kind of think, oh, well, on the good side, the only possible logical reason they've closed this down is because we've cured mental health. No one's got any mental health problems, but of course, the truth is, fucking money as usual. But okay, that's cool. She's up there, loves it. Good. Steady shot. I'm going to end up. Yeah. I'm dying here, Paul. I can't cope with this world either. I know. And you just got to laugh about it sometimes. Just have a bit of a spray and a laugh, because it's bloody fucking absurd. You know, there's places in Sydney. I can't park my car without fucking about downloading an app to say I'm parking my car. I mean, and they say it's for your convenience. When I do finally get a bit older, and I do, get my hands on my retirement fund, and I don't have to give a shit about anything anymore, I'm just going to get rid of my bloody smartphone, my dumb phone. Ugh. I tell my kids, when I was a young slip of a lad knocking about old London town, me and my mates, we used to have the vaguest plans. Like we would, to give you an example, we would meet up in Covent Garden on a Friday night. That was as far as the arrangements went. We wouldn't even know which pub. We'd sort of just wander around looking pubs, no time, until we sort of kind of all bumped into each other, and it all worked out. Now it'd be, what time is it? Fuck me. It's all bollocks. It's like it's not my last message. Well, you know, I can't, man, because I can't see into the future. You're talking to each other. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, no. Ian subscribed to Just the Girls channel. Excellent, man. Excellent, excellent. Ian Barron's good mod. Good mod. Good choice of mod. Is this something that maybe it just hang on? Maybe it just doesn't show on Stream Shark. I thought I modded you, Ian. Didn't I mod you? Hang on, I've got to look at my own stream and get feedback now, haven't I? Yeah, I did. Oh, it doesn't show. Okay, it doesn't show up on this thing. Okay. Stinky old truffle. Yeah, I mean you're in and out for fuck's sake. You don't need to like admire the fine enamel paneling and marquetry and maybe a bit of parquetry here and there. You're just going in, having a slash, and going out again, aren't you? Making sure your shoelaces are done up before you go in. That's the only thing you've got to worry about. Bring back the shelf. Ah, dude, the shelf, man. When it was brilliant, when it was all standing. I'm just so lucky that I'm at an age where I actually got to see it. You know, for all I moan about the way the world is, I am actually happy that I have seen it when it was a bit bloody cooler. If you just bear with me, I'm just going to get a drink of water and keep hydrated. Thank you very much. Don't mind me. Just look at my cushion. Ah, ba 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 ba. Yeah, the shelf, man. It was. I loved it, man. I loved it because I used to hate school, bit bullied and all that sort of shit. But me and two mates from school, we used to go to White Hart Lane, and this is like from the age of what 13, I think I started going, and it would just make such a difference to your life. It's weird, eh? That I mean, win, lose or draw, Spurs always put on a great show, and they kind of carried you through the next couple of weeks. For me, anyway, it was like I can just ignore all this dumb shit at school or whatever because I support Tottenham Hotspur, and that's more important than you clowns. Anyway, toughens you up as well because then I moved to a different sixth form and every fucker there supported Arsenal, man. I mean, it was all banter though, you know, by that age, it was all cool. But when they won the league in '89, I had to eat shit for a year. It was horrible, but you know, that's football, eh? Oh, Jimmy, you live in rural Lincolnshire and it's stunning. Oh, nice, man. Although, like the Fens, people look a bit the same in the Fens, if you know what I mean. Um, but I had many a fun time in Skegness. Is it Skegness in Lincolnshire? Cleethorpes. My mum and dad moved out of London into near Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk, so not far, and it was beautiful, beautiful. Claude Murphy, here we go. I support your channel. I express my views, and you told me to get out of here. I feel so hurt. I supported you when you first met me, and now you're. Oh, don't. What? Listen, if you come in here and you start slagging off fans, don't be all butthurt when you get a little bit back. Okay, I'm not running you away. Um, it's one of those things that I don't like. Get out of here. And you know what? If you carry on down this line, I'm not even going to discuss it with you anymore. You support my channel. I appreciate that, but that doesn't mean you own my point of view. That's the way it works here. This isn't a democracy, man. It's not freedom of speech. It's the Hotspur hippie. And if you say some things that I really disagree with strongly, and this is one of them, then I'm not having it, mate. I'm not having it. So you've been told. Now this is the way it works. I've told you my point of view on this. Okay, if you keep doing it, then you're just being a bit of an internet twat. Okay, that's what you're doing, and I won't have it, man. So chill out. You're more than welcome. You know, you can have all sorts of other views that we can have a chat about, mate. But saying the fans, we've got the worst fans and all that. Not having it, man. We've got the best fans because despite Levy and Enoch and all that sort of shit, Tottenham Hotspur is the greatest football team the world has ever seen, and we are the best fans in the world. That's the way it is. Ian Barron, good night, everyone watching. Oh, good night, Ian. Nice. Thanks for having you around, man. Thanks for having you around. Mountain Bush, Sebastian loves Hotspur Hippie. Well, Hotspur Hippie is a general love of all humanity, man. Everyone in the world. So my love is to you as well, Sebastian. I hope you're taking care of Grandad there, and you're having a lot of fun there, man. That's quite funny. That's cool, man. Cheers, dude. Night, Ian. Ben, no, Ben. Ben is the connoisseur's mod of choice. Jolly good evening. Morning to you all. I'll put my hat on and give you a little doff. Good evening to you, sir. I'll tuck my forelock. I'll have to tuck my back lock instead because I don't know if you've noticed, camera hasn't got high enough resolution to pick it up sometimes, but my hair's a little bit thinning just about there, so I have to do it from the back. Ben will come in and lighten the bloody mood up, won't he? Evening, Ben. Yay! We're not impressed. We don't live in the fens because, because like I say, my mum and dad lived in Bury St Edmunds or near Bury St Edmunds for a while. And we went out to the fens, and we saw this man and woman walking around the corner. So we're walking up the street, and we saw this man and woman walking around the corner coming towards us, right? And then they'd gone. And then it was a couple of minutes later, we could have sworn the same two people walked around the corner and towards us, and we're all looking at each other going, are we going mad? Did they just hop on a motorbike and go around the block quickly? Or is there something mysterious happening in the fens? Just a girl of Spurs. Oh, sorry, I've just done that one, yeah. Am I needed already? Nah. It's all shits and giggles, man. It's all shits and giggles. Hey, Kate, everyone. Here we go. Oh, it's my turn to send you to sleep. Hey, off to bed soon. Bloody knackered and need my beauty sleep. Don't we all, mate? Don't we all? It's not working, man, for me. Look at me. Look at me. I used to look like Brad Pitt when I was 18 and Spurs won the FA Cup. Look at the state of me now. Look what's happened to me. All gone to shit. Here's some buff hoggies. Oh, nice to see you, man. Why things just seem to be looking brighter at Spurs, leaving us to go and spoil all the good vibes. Yeah, he is a habit of it, doesn't he? I love you, Paul. Okay, you're an alpha male. Fuck off. I'm not an alpha male. You're not easy face. Sometimes I just say things to stimulate conversation. Spurs till you die. Well, okay, all right, we're all friends, but I don't believe in all that alpha, beta. We're all just people. But okay, I'll take that as an olive branch, and I'll reach out and I'll accept it, and we can all be cool. That's nice. Thanks, Claude. Thank you. Spurs. Let's all get in there, man. Nice man. Night, Paul. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Legend. It's an overused word, man, but okay, thank you. Ben says, to hear I brighten the mood makes me proud. Well, yeah, you do. You just, I don't know. I get a nice, and I mean this as a compliment, man, a nice silly vibe when I watch your channel and see your comments. It's just silly, daft old stuff, which I kind of like, man. Thank you. Good night. We're getting near the end of the comments here, so I'll just have a quick look and see if anything's happened on a Sunday night. I haven't even looked at the cricket score because it was all raining and I couldn't be bothered waiting for it to stop raining. I'm thinking it's Leeds, for fuck's sake. It's not going to stop raining out there, am I? Let's have a look. Anything happening in Tottenham? Hang on. I've got this is a comment I just want to have a quick look at here. for Sebastian, Hotspur hippie forever. Now, if only, and I know, this is a big step, but if Sebastian, if you like the sort of Hotspur hippie, you've got to love the greatest football team the world has ever seen, man. And all you've got to do to become as big a fan as me, as big a fan as anyone. There's no hierarchy. There's no pecking order in being a fan. It's really simple. All you got to do is you got to go, come on, you Spurs, and that's it. That's it. You're a Spurs fan for the rest of your life, and you share in all our misery as we're rubbish a lot of the time, but not this year. We're going to be brilliant this year because we've got Ange Postecoglou. So if you go, come on, you Spurs, that's it. You're in. You're in. Put it there, man. Put it there, pal. You're in. My channel is daft by design, especially with those rapscallions, Coovy Groove and Bobby K. Yeah, man. There can't be too much silliness in the world. Can't be too much silliness. That's the sort of, I like silly humour, daft. I like Laurel and Hardy, for Christ's sake, and Mountain Bushman, the purveyor of Spurs goodness. Thank you very much, man. That's what we try and do. Oh, yeah, the cricket. I didn't look at the cricket. Has England lost the Ashes yet? Did they play at all? Oh, it says stumps, so we did something. So Australia 224 all out. England 27 for none. So England need 224 to win. That's the target, is it? Or what? I don't understand. Google. We need 200 and something runs. We ain't going to do it because we're just going to be giving our bloody wickets away playing Bazball. Bazball. Arrogant waft ball. I'm too good for you. Waft bang ball. That's what it is. Bairstow ball. Bairstow ball. And you know what I reckon a Bairstow? Here we go. Hang on. Where is he? Where is he? Let's get him up here. Let's see if I can get this bloke's opinion. What do you reckon of Bairstow, Millie? Bairstow? Bairstow? Get back in your fucking crease, mate. Who do you think you fucking are? Do you think you're Eric Dyer? Bairstow! See, Mille's not happy. Mille's not happy. And he's Australian. He should be happy. But he ain't. He ain't happy with Bairstow, I'm telling you. Especially when Coover says that Kit Kats are a biscuit. Well, you know what? Speaking of Coover, because I haven't bumped into him online for a bit, I found it, a bit sad, and Mr. Mountain Bushman is almost in a similar position here, where lifelong fan, and it got so bad last year where he didn't want to watch Spurs anymore, and was actually happier not watching Spurs. That's how bloody awful it was last year. And that you can forget, okay, Levy, Enoch and all that crap. But, I mean, it is ultimately their fault for getting in these managers. But we played such arse ball, Z ball, sleepy ball, Mogadon ball. And it's like fans have got such an elastic love of their club, But it comes a point where you just can't watch it anymore, man. I know because Mountain Bushman, and he's dragged me into watching St George Dragons, and they're total cack. So what I'm hoping, the point I'm getting at, is wouldn't it be great, right, to see fans like Coover and every other Spurs fan that's been so bloody, annoyed by the way the team's playing and, down on the whole vibe, to just watch football, win, lose or draw, that just entertains us, that makes us feel happy, that makes us happy to be a Spurs fan. I mean, that would be a big step. That would be nice to have a back. Here we go. Claude, what I say, all the Spurs fans around the world, you were the first to mention Ange. So, bro, your football. After doing some research on him, totally convinced. Be able to, that's and that's what I've liked seeing as well, Claude. And the only reason The only reason was I was one of the first. It's just by accident of location, if you know what I mean. It's because I've lived in Australia since '95, so I've seen Ange more. You know, that's the only thing. And I had no doubt, unless I was completely off the planet, that as Spurs fans over in England and the rest of the world, you know, got to do a bit more research and see a bit more of Ange, they just come to the same conclusion, you know. So I wasn't being particularly, you know, like smart or anything. It's just because I'd seen him so long here. You know, he won us the Asian Cup. He won some premierships. You know, he was always good in interviews and things like that. And I really started pegging him as Spurs manager when he when I saw the reaction he got out of the Celtic fans. It wasn't just that they won stuff and they played good football. It was the way he really got an incredible atmosphere out of that whole club. And it was at a time where, you know, Spurs were at rock bottom, you know, the stadium. I mean, I can't, sometimes the crowd noise doesn't come across much, but, you know, the atmosphere didn't sound really huge for a lot of the games. And so I'm seeing that at White Hart Lane. And then I'm seeing this other lot at Celtic, and albeit it's probably, you know, a different environment up there or whatever, but there's still, despite it being Celtic and they're mad fans anyway, there's something extra spicy about it. And that's when I was just started thinking, man, I mean, he wins everywhere. And it was more just to have a bit of that feeling coming back into Tottenham, you know, because, I mean, the owners have done a lot to wreck all that. But like I say, at the end of the day, it's the fans that are the club. And if Ange can get us all behaving a bit like that, then the sky is the limit, I reckon. The sky is the limit. So I've been chuffed to. It's been a real happy thing for me to see Spurs fans go through this journey from you know, maybe a bit of doubt or maybe a bit of underwhelmingment, or even more. You know, like, why have we got this guy? You know, which I all totally understandable. You know, and just seeing them bit by bit, thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe this is the guy. Maybe we could do something here. You know, or at least give him a fair go. So it's really cool, man. Really cool. Ken62, you led the way on getting the fan base on the Ange train. Well, I, I mean, I just wanted him as manager, really. Like, it was at the time, because I went back and I thought, when did I first, from what I can gather, I first mentioned it to someone that I want Ange in February. And it was only because we were so on the bloody, it was, if the mood at Spurs was bloody horrible, wasn't it? Um, and look, I mean, look, and look, no, Ange got everyone on the train himself. You know, if it was just me, and there were other people as well. To be fair, it wasn't just me going on the Ange train. But if it was just us, but then Ange didn't win you over, then I just looked like a knob, wouldn't I? But I just knew Ange would be able to do it. He wouldn't let anyone down, and he's shown it already. The way he's conducted himself. Like I saw, there was one bit of news I saw. There was an article. Let me see if I can find it again. I probably can't now because it's the internet, and they just shuffle things around. It's not like a newspaper where page 5 doesn't. You know, if I put a newspaper down on the table and I pick it up again 5 minutes, page 5 hasn't changed around, does it? It's still page 5. Whereas all this here is just crap now. So I've got to find it. Let me have a look. Okay, I get instant information. I don't bloody care. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I think it might have been from Alistair Gold. And he was saying that there was a few things in the article, but there was one thing that stuck in my mind, and it's such a simple thing, man. How Ange knew all the names of all of his staff straight away. He learnt the names of all of his staff, and you know, I mean, it's such a simple thing. I mean, it's a smart thing. There's no way I could do that for a start. But I'm assuming so. He actually went to the effort of doing that because it just you know, it makes people feel wanted, doesn't it? Because he's a really genuine guy, and I think in the report it said something like previous managers haven't bothered doing that. And you know, it's just those simple little touches. You know, when you get enough of these simple little touches that just accumulate, then you get something special. And Ange always talks about he wants to do something special wherever he goes. Something special. It's more than just winning. You know, it's something special, isn't it? You know, or in Tottenham terms, we call it glory. That's what we call it. Oh, I'm amazed my PC hasn't shut itself, by the way. This is really cool. Really cool. Claude, yes, Paul, please take the credit. You did unite the fan base with your recommendation and selection. Big up to you. And I mean, cool, man. But, you know, and I'm not being overly like humble and dumb and all that, but I knew Ange would do it. Like I just said, man, Ange is Ange. He's done it everywhere. You know, I knew, put it this way, look, I knew he would do it because when he went over to Celtic, right, they just knew him as some guy coming over from Australia and Japan, you know, so they were even more doubtful and more reticent. And he won them over so quickly, man, so quickly. So at least at Tottenham, even though, you know, people say, Scottish football and all that, at least it's on the doorstep. At least it's in the, you know, it's in the zeitgeist, it's in the ether about Celtic doing well and Ange being, you know, a vaguely heard of name. And you can go and look at Celtic games easy, and it kind, even though you might not think it's the same standard, it kind of resonates a bit. So Spurs fans have, it's almost like Celtic fans have done the hard work for a lot of Spurs fans, you know. It's easier for Spurs fans to get on board because he's had that Celtic story behind him. But it was because he, you know, and Celtic fans ain't going to just blow smoke up someone's ass that's useless, you know. It was the way he got them on board. That's what I thought. Yeah, he's the guy for us, man. Brian Hill, have you heard of the psych rock band from Melbourne called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard? I certainly have. They play in a weird scale. I think it might be instead of 8 notes to a octave or something, it's like 10 or something like that. It's a weird scale. I haven't listened to too much of them. I'm not saying they're not good, but like sometimes I find music like that a little bit confusing. Bit like, you know, like prog rock, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, or progressive jazz. I know it's good, but I can't feel it. So there's been a couple of tracks that I've heard of theirs on the radio and stuff that I have liked. They're awesome live. My youngest daughter saw them live a little while ago. She loved them. So yeah, I'm sure they put on a great show. Man. You know, as long as it's before 11 o'clock, because that's when everyone has to switch off loud music in Australia. We can't disturb the posh people. No fun for you. Posh people are busy being posh, and doing what they want all the time, and stifling us. But there's always more of us than them. Never forget it. I'll just have a quick look on. Oh no, that's I'll just have a quick look here and see if there's any Okay, here we go. Okay, so Alistair Gold, it must have been, maybe it's the same article. He was also saying that Ange was impressed with Yves Bissouma. I was impressed with Yves Bissouma, just the cut of his jib. And I like Emerson Royale, just dicking about a bit. One thing I did notice, and it might, there's this bit where, you know, because you got the wussy gym bit before they go and play football. And I could swear, man, that for a split second, you just see Eric Dyer on a bicycle, on an exercise bike, doing absolutely bugger all. And he looks up, and it's almost like, oh, the camera's on me, and then starts pedaling. I might have to watch it again. I've only watched it once, but it just looked like he's there. I mean, you know, maybe I'm a little bit biased against Eric Dyer. If he comes good, I'm all on the Eric Dyer train. You know, I don't care what player comes good. Here we go. Oh, nice, man. Glenn Hoddle, yeah, man. Well, look, I'd say probably Glenn Hoddle was probably the best, man. But my favourite was kind of Ozzy Ardiles, and I really love Steve Archibald as well. But I just liked Ozzy. I mean, him and Glenn were just the ultimate package, weren't they, man? You know, I mean, you've seen some good football. Um, so I understand some of your frustration the way things are now, but yeah, I mean that's what we're hopefully that is the standard though, isn't it? Up there, you know, Glenn Hoddle, homegrown player, um, and Ozzy. We're only one day away from Ozzy's 45th anniversary as joining us Spurs. You know, that for me as a kid, that's probably why I like Ozzy, because early football memories for me is Argentina winning the 78 World Cup. And then, like, in the next heartbeat, in the summer holidays, we signed Ozzy Ardiles. But Glenn was amazing, man. And like my specific memories of games is all a bit fuzzy. And I think there's something that happens um, when you sort of you stop watching games for a bit, or you don't, or you stop going to games or something like that. When you keep it up, um, all these memories stick in your head a bit better. But like when I moved to Australia, I couldn't follow Spurs that much. I could see the scores and that. So a lot of my old memories of my old specific memories of games have faded, but the emotion that I felt is still really strong there. But I do remember very clearly Glenn's last goal at White Hart Lane, and it was just a fantastic way to say goodbye, you know. And the shelf was just like, ah. I think it was against Oxford United or some shit team, but it don't matter because Glenn just took them all on, did his usual dummy the keeper. I mean, wouldn't you have hated to play against Glenn Hoddle, man? Him and Ozzy, they were two players that just didn't lose the ball for a start. And Glenn Hoddle, and I'll say this, you know, this is me Spursy. Glenn Hoddle, this is Spursy. Glenn Hoddle, like it was like he was playing pool. He'd like put backspin and side spin on the ball. You know, most mere meager dumb mortals like me are flat out kicking the ball in the right general area of a pitch, and then Glenn Hoddle would come along and just kick it and spin it, and it'd go right into someone's stride. It was just phenomenal. Yeah, so yeah, I understand him being your favourite player, man. Ben says, I saw a crazy band the other night opening for Kiss. You went to see Kiss. Why not? A band called Skindred, Welsh reggae metal. Well, there's a mix you don't hear of much, isn't it? Wow. Ah, no woman, no die. Oh, Shawnee, it's Al Jazeera's Sean Butler. Hello, man. How you going? Thanks for popping in. Sean is rocking away with the subs at the moment. He's doing really well. I do enjoy your walks in the morning, Sean, and I like the bits where you know, not that there's any evidence that I've got of this, so I can't blackmail you, but you're in my pocket, son. I've seen you walking past to keep your dog on a leash sign. Maybe it was a long invisible leash, you know. Mum's the word, Sean. But yeah, no, Sean is one of my favourite top Spurs channels because I don't know, I just like him. Just cool guy. And I hope you're doing the watch-alongs this year, man, because I think you're very good at them. You, Dave and Jack. It's always what I use as my own commentary when I'm watching Spurs games at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, if I was listening to some Arsenal dickhead on whatever sports channel I'm watching, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. But having Sean, David, and Jack keeping me all fired up, even though we're total rubbish, is fun. And and you're another one, Sean. If you're doing the watch-alongs, I just want to see you be happy, man. I don't like seeing Spurs fans be all miserable and shit and bollocks because we all are. It's been a horrible season, but we're gonna have something to bloody laugh about this year, man. Something to bloody laugh about. Future music, Archibald, yeah. I don't know. You could just tell he was his own. He was just a bit off the planet, wasn't he? Never tucked his shirt in, long, flowing blonde hair, great, just danced around the pitch like a ballerina almost. He was just he was my kind of special nutcase, he's a good player. Lemmy, the Moths, great scales, great rhythm section. The Moths, not aware of the Moths. Who's the Moths? If this is any band after the year 2000, man, I ain't gonna know them. Oh no, the Moths, formed in 1984. Who's in it? David Byrne's almost close to David Byrne. I might have a look at this. This might be. I'll ask a mate of mine up in the mountains what the Moths are like, because he would know them. Formed in Sydney. That's when Sydney used to have a good music scene, but it's all been replaced by slot machines, poker machines. We call them here, pokies. For people in England, man, if you saw pubs over here, your head would explode. Like, they have huge rooms dedicated to just slot machines through them. It's like, it's like going into a casino basically, or one of those in England. Because I remember there used to be one where I lived in West Drayton. I think it was called, what was it called? Entertainment or something, and it was like sandwiched in between a pub that used to have strippers and some other crap, and it's just a room full of fruit machines. Now, if you take that out and put it in every single, and I'm not joking here, every single pub in Sydney, you might think I'm making this up, but I'm not. It's every single pub has just got a room full of these fucking things, which is zombies just going like that, just like that, tap and go, dude, take my money, ding, 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 tap and go, ding, for hours and hours and hours. Like, I remember pubs in England, you might have one fruit machine in a corner, and it cost £1, which is like, do I either buy a pint or have a go on the fruit machine? I'm buying a pint. And so bugger all people playing it. Over here, it's absolutely outrageous. And because they make so much money out of these, live music's gone. Between that and one knobhead ringing the council saying, "Oh, I've moved next door to a pub and they're playing loud music," and they'll say, "Oh, don't worry about that. We'll close the pub down." One complaint can close a pub down, and I ain't joking about that. Happened to a pub I used to jam and play in. Closed down. One complaint. Within earshot, there would have been 10,000 people. No complaints from them. Just one complaint got the place shut down. Bloody posh people. They shit me to tears. But everyone's saying that. Here we go. Shamu Van Spurs. Screaming females in Guantanamo Bay watch. Guantanamo Bay. I like the name of that. Screaming females, pretty good names. Guantanamo. Keep an eye on those bands if they come, Ben. All right. 24Z, one of the best, even though he hates Basuma. Oh, no, you don't hate Basuma, do you? Sure, I haven't heard him say that. Oh, maybe he's not, the jury's out. He's very, cautious sometimes. Shamu Van Spurs, bring back the one-armed bandits, yeah. It's exactly what the name is, isn't it? There's a name there called that. Mountain Bushmen, saw them. Oh, great score. So this is the Moths, eh? Here we go. So they had a great score. I will have to bookmark that because here we go. Shamu, I used to have a go at the pokies all the time at the bowling club. Wasn't even a room. Literally beside the pub with about 10 machines. $4 turned into $2.40 was my best return. Big up Neptune's treasure. And what was your, was there much on the downside? I don't want to, say it, but if you won 240, so I mean, the bloody thing is, they're not even mechanical fucking things of chance that you might have a bit of a system on. They're computers that already know what the reels are going to be because they're designed to take out. You can set them in the BIOS. I looked into this, right? You can set it in the computer BIOS what the win return rate is. Now there's legal standards that it has to be. I don't know what the exact number is, but it has to be. Say for example, you have to pay out 95%. Well, you can have it at 95%. You can have it at 99%. I bet there's no fucking machine that's set to 105% though. So it's mathematically always not even chance. Not even, you're playing blackjack and there might be a random run on cards or, something like that. It is predetermined when you push that button what the thing's going to do already. So you're watching something it's like watching a film with someone and they already know what's happening in the end of the film is, and they're just spoiling it for. I don't know. I can't think of an analogy, but poker machines are bollocks. They really are. Oh, here we go. Oh, look, Shamu, don't look. This guy here, Mountain Bushman, has been a lifelong Dragons fan. So, we want to keep a bit of harmony here. Although, it's kind of understood, isn't it, mate? It's fair enough. It's kind of it's a fair target. I mean, I'd love to say no, man, but it is a fair target. If you want to bag the shit out of Ben Hunt, you're more than welcome. All right, see if I can string this puppy out for 2 hours. Oh my God, we've got a few still watching. Bloody hell, that's cool. Thanks for tagging along. The sun has risen here now. Looks like a nice day. Nice day in Sydney. I'm gonna go out for my walk. When you get old, you've got to have a routine. Oh, hang on. What's this? This is a new one. Who's this? Oh, Give Me Sport. 76 followers. So what are they saying? 4 hours ago. Let's just have a quick read through this. Tottenham, Postecoglou, the headline. Postecoglou will take no prisoners at Hotspur away. Fucking right, he won't. Ange Postecoglou will lay down the law after being appointed as Tottenham. Okay, let's see if there's any rationale. Takes no prisoners. Who's saying this? Oh, it's Sky Sports. Sky Sports reporter Michael Bridge, who's often seen lurking outside of White Hart Lane when there's an announcement, I suppose. But it's just what he reckons. But I suppose it's an opinion, isn't it? According to the Daily Mail, Postecoglou has vowed to bring exciting back to football. What does the Daily Mail bloody know? Daily Mail supported Nazis before World War II, and they're going to tell us how to run Spurs. Piss off, Daily Mail. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. What does Michael Bridge says about it? Who gives a fuck what Michael Bridge says? He doesn't work for Tottenham. But hold on, maybe he's seen something. Maybe he's seen something with his own eyes, yeah? It looks like he takes no prisoners. So the quote's right at the end, by the way, as usual, when you click on a bit of clickbait, they have the headline. Then pretty quickly you suss out it's nothing. And it's the last paragraph that's actually the meat and potatoes. So Michael Bridge told Give Me Sport, it looks like, so I'm assuming he's seen this with his own eyes in this account, it looks like he takes no prisoners. He's not a kind of Conte manager where he'd be screaming on the touchline, but he keeps his anger inside. He knows what he wants, and then you'll know about it. That's what I've been told. Well, who fucking told you? This has gone from bad to worse. It's gone from Give Me Sport saying this to saying, well, we read something in the Daily Mail, and then a reporter said that someone told him. So this is nothing. He's very good in the media, okay. He doesn't get too close with anyone in the media. No, because you're all pricks. You're all Fleet Street meathead pricks. He doesn't get too close with anyone in the media. And I think he's a very good addition to the Premier League. Oh, thank you, Michael. I don't know who Michael Bridge is. Maybe he's like some 80-year-old esteemed fan favourite. And it's got the question here. Will Postecoglou turn out to be a good appointment for Tottenham? Blah, 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 blah. More guff. No conclusion. Journalism, man. And I'm going to put this link in the chat again because this ain't new. This isn't new journalism. Let me wind back the clock a bit for you here. Let me get a link for you. I'll set you all some homework, which you don't have to do because homework is shit. It's what I told my kids anyway. You don't have to sit at school 40 hours a week and then they get fucking more work to do at home. If they can't do their job in 6 hours during the day, setting a bad example there, maybe. Do your homework, kids. Very important. Okay, let me just get this quote here. I hope the sound doesn't come through. I don't want to get a copyright ping. But this is our double winning captain. And this is an interview Danny Blanchflower did in 1962. And in it, he mentions journalism and how it's such a crap standard, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. In fact, it's gotten even worse. Even worse. So it's a really good, cool interview. It's about 20 minutes. And in that interview, you get to see what a proper Spurs captain is, man. He's an incredible guy. Incredible guy. Anyway, back to the Dragons. Ben Kaufman. You be silly, Ben. Shamoo. Mountain Bushman, my poor Dragons. Yeah, I know, man. Shamu, he did this the other day. Good second half. Biggest Raiders win this season. Oh, fucking hell. That's the classical management shit sandwich. Good news, shit, and no, yours is just not even a sandwich. It's like beans. It's like shit on toast, isn't it? You've got a bit of toast, good second half, and then you just put the shit on top. Yeah, there we go. You're saying standard modern journalism. You know, it's the way it is. There's something that like, just to give you a flavour, there's one bit, Danny Blanchflower, because he's obviously talking to a journalist at the BBC, and he does kind of take him aback a little bit at one point, but I won't spoil that bit. But he says, like, he's talking, because at that stage, like, football was just becoming, I guess, more European. Not that it wasn't played in Europe, but people were becoming more interested in, what's going on in other countries' football. And I can't remember the exact quote. He said, and he was also defending journalists a little bit, saying it is hard, it is a difficult job to distill a 90-minute game into a column. And back then, you also had restrictions on words and where they fit on the page and all that sort of thing. So he wasn't saying it wasn't difficult, but he also then said, why would someone reading a newspaper in Moscow want to know what someone who plays for Leeds United's wife's up to? No one cares. You just care about football. So, and that's true today. I'm sure it's still a bit of tittle tattle, makes the news. All you need is someone with a mobile phone catching a player having a bad moment, or not even having a bad moment, having a fun moment, and they're fucked now. So it's a good 10 points. Like, I don't know what the 10 points is, man. I'm enjoying this. I don't want it to end. Don't want it to end, but I'm running out of comments. So, there's always a season. We can always go our separate ways, have a beautiful little time or sleep, and come back refreshed and go again. Because at Tottenham, we never stop. I haven't heard anyone say that. Maybe you'll come up with something different. I don't know, man. But, we've got no late comers. Well, I'll just end with this. I know it's a shameless plug. It's not for charity. It's for me. It's GoFundMe for me. I'm not working until the 26th of September. If you feel like chipping a few bucks in, every bit bloody helps. It's so amazing, this has. But if you can't, because I know I'm not the only one that's struggling, or you don't want to, that's all cool. Just having you along watching, that's all right. So thanks for coming along. And I'll probably find out that it isn't in the description. I'll just see if it is while I'm here. I might as well do my due diligence, I believe the term is that they use in the posh world. Due diligence. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. All right. Just had to check. I didn't want to beat on the drum, but that has been really helpful for me. I started this channel as a means to just keep myself occupied. and you know, just going on and chatting dumb Spurs stuff with a load of fans is really just you know, it's kept, not, I wouldn't say kept me going, that's extreme, but it's really helped my state of mind and my mood and everything. And I've had a lot of ball, a big ball, a lot. I've had a ball. That's it. It's just a normal ball with it, and it's nice to see some people having a laugh too. You know, if you feel like clicking like and subscribe, that's cool too. But if you can't be asked, I get it. It's totally cool, man. I know from my demographics, most of you have more mature years, and when you get to a certain age, you can't be fucking bothered clicking shit. So don't worry about it. Just having you along for the ride and giving me a bit of grist for the mill with comments is fun enough. Or just you watching and enjoying everyone else's grist. That's all cool, man. Future music. Have a good day, mate. That's a great way to end it. Let's see. Do I get confirmation button there? Yeah, I go. I'll probably be out and about doing a bit of a walk. If something pops into my mind, I'll do a video. There's nothing happening now, so I don't know if that'll happen. And then maybe this evening I'll do another stream. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Planning is not my forte. But thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed it. And all I can say is, come on, you Spurs.